It's time to hit the latest NFL headlines with the editor-in-chief of the MMQB, Peter King. Peter, let's start with Jim Irsay, now in a rehab facility. He was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving, and 4 felony possession charges are coming his way. He could get a fine by the commissioner, but how could Roger Goodell impose a suspension on Jim Irsay? Would he do that?
I think he would do that, and I'm pretty sure he will do that, Maggie, because I think when it isn't only lip service in the NFL that league executives and officials are held to a higher standard, so that even though this might be the first, offense for Jimmy Irsay, and it might be, it might not be, but even though this might be the first offense, I think that Roger Goodell is going to say, listen, for the good of this league, a guy who's, if he is found to be guilty of driving drunk, if he is found to be guilty of possessing 4 prescription painkiller prescriptions illegally, I think Roger Goodell has no option but to suspend him for some length of time. And I don't think Jimmy Irsay will be in any position to argue it. And if he is suspended, Maggie, he will be banned from the team facility, will not be able to show up there for the length of his suspension.
As Jim Irsay deals with his things, it's also free agency continues. The carousel continues to move, and Michael Vick is expected to visit the New York Jets facility on Friday. Why would the Jets want Vick?
Very simple reason. If you look at the landscape of available quarterbacks and you're the New York Jets, you thought that there were 2 quarterbacks who had the potential to challenge Geno Smith for the starting job. And look, the Jets are saying all the right things. Geno Smith is our guy. We want Geno. If you want Geno Smith, you're not asking Josh McCown and you're not asking Michael Vick to come in. It isn't that you don't want Geno Smith, but you want him to have to fight for his job. Let's remember back to 2013, when it wasn't so long ago, when Geno Smith was bad about half the time. And if you're a Jets fan, if you're a Jets front office person, if you're John Idzik, you can't have a conviction on Geno Smith right now. If you do, I think you're lying to yourself. He might make it, and he might really be good. But the reason why they want to bring in a potential starter is that they're not sure right now about the guy who they have in-house. And I think if Michael Vick goes to training camp, it'll be an open competition for the job.
Another big-name free agent on the defensive side, Jared Allen, looks like he could be headed to Seattle. What can Allen still give the reigning Super Bowl champs?
Well, considering that you can mark Allen, and even though he declined some last year in terms of his quarterback pressures, he never misses a game. He always gets double-digit sacks. He always gets pressure. And even though, again, he declined in 2013, I think if you're the Seahawks, you're saying, we have to try to wedge this guy onto our cap for this year without giving him too much guaranteed money, Maggie, because if last year was the first year of a precipitous decline, you don't want to be on the hook for a lot of money in 2015 and beyond. So I think the Seahawks obviously are very serious, and if he does go there, you can see a really good, really strong pass rush being put on next year with Michael Bennett in the middle, with Cliff Averill on one side, and with Jared Allen on the other side.
The owners' meetings will begin next week in Orlando. Peter, you'll be there. Rule changes are on the table. Do you expect anything to get done?
So things like moving the kickoff up to the 40-yard line, which the Washington Redskins said that they wanted to have put in, I don't think that has any chance. The one rule that I do think will be passed is having Dean Blandino, the vice president of officiating, being able to have an open line to the referee under the booth and to the replay official in every stadium, so that if he looks at a play and he could throw his 2 cents into the ref and say, hey, listen, you've got to rule in this fashion. And so I think that will give the NFL the sort of protection on replay that it really feels that it needs.
Enjoy Orlando and the owners' meetings, Peter.
Thanks,
we'll be
Maggie.
jealous of you in the sunshine. Thank you so much.
Okay.